Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a Top 10 Tuesday for you. This is a meme that was originally started on the Broken Bookish blog, which I will link below. Every week a new theme is made where you have to list your top 10 of something, and this week it is top 10 books that I thought I'd like more or less than I did. Now I'm going to break this off into two sections of 5. First 5 are going to be the books that I thought I'd like more than I did, and the second 5 are going to be the books that I thought I'd like less than I did. So let's start with the books I thought I'd like more. These are ones that had been highly recommended to me throughout BookTube and reviews, etc. And I was so excited for them, and when I read them, I just couldn't stand them, basically. So I'm not really going to go into much detail regarding each of them because each of them is pretty much the same explanation. Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I thought that the characters were dull and the whole murder mystery theme of the book wasn't really used to its full advantage. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I just didn't find this book to be as realistic as it could have been, and I didn't feel any emotion towards the characters whatsoever. 2 people out there will know what I'm talking about when I say don't judge me on that. Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. Nora fitted into the Bella syndrome kind of thing. She was one of those undescribed girls that you can imagine yourself being, and Patch was one of those guys that everyone wants to be with. Go figure. Unwind by Neil Shusterman. I found this book to be more about teen angst than I did to be about what it was actually supposed to be about. The actual content of the book was lacking in comparison to the emotions and hormones running between all of the teenagers. Pretties by Scott Westerfeld. I loved Uglies and I was really looking forward to Pretties, and I just didn't understand a word of it. There was so much slang in this book that wasn't even explained properly, and I just thought the plot was boring and predictable. Now let's get on to the 5 books that I absolutely loved, even though I didn't think that I would. First of all is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I read Looking for Alaska before I read The Fault in Our Stars, and I really didn't like that book. I thought that it was bland and boring, but when I read The Fault in Our Stars, everything changed. I got so emotionally attached, as did the majority of people that read it, and I just felt so much love, so much feeling, and I hate the word, or I hate the phrase, the feels. It just really bugs me, but there were so many feels in that book that it was unreal, and it was just so beautifully written, and even though it was quite simplistic at the same way, I just loved it, and I cried hysterically for about an hour after reading it. So, I do have emotion after all, yay! Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. At first I was a little bit sceptical because it seemed a bit too high schooly, cliche, popular girl kind of thing where they're all being bitchy and mean, but as it got going through the book, it was really good and it was really thought-provoking. It makes you think about your life and how you take it for granted and how things you do can implement other people's lives. It was just a really good book, and this is such a good book on its own, and I'm so glad that it's a standalone and not part of a series. Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry. I hate contemporary romance, or contemporaries. I just really don't like them. I find them to be quite fake. The ones I've read anyways are normally ones where people lose all their morals when they meet a guy, and it's all about the guy and nothing else. Life doesn't matter, friends don't matter, as long as you're with the perfect guy. But in this book, it was so much more. The 2 main characters, Noah and Echo, had such a deep past that it linked them together, and it wasn't like they were rushing into everything. It was a gradual love, and that's what I like because I think that that's more realistic than a love at first sight novel. About a Boy by Nick Hornby. Now before reading this I wasn't quite sure what I'd think about it. It was only a day after I had actually read it, when I was writing my review, that I realised I did like it a lot more than I thought I did. It was lacking in content because nothing really happened in the book, but with what it lacked in content, it made up for in emotion. It's one of those novels that makes you think about your life and how precious it is. And the book focuses more on the change of the characters and how they develop through certain situations than it is about the content. And I found that to be quite refreshing looking back at it. At first I wasn't keen on it because I'm more of a content kind of person, but as I was thinking about it, it did actually make the book really good, and I did like it a lot more than I thought. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. As many of you probably know, I absolutely hated The Knife of Never Letting Go, so going into this book I wasn't really positive about whether I'd like it or not, but put it this way, I pretty much read it in an afternoon. The writing is absolutely beautifully poetic and it is laced with so much emotion that you just can't help but feel for the characters, and I just loved it. I don't think I've ever described a book as this before, but it was just a beautiful book. I've actually done Top 10 Tuesdays on one of my older blogs before, and I never ever reached 10 books that I found for a particular theme. This is actually the first time I've picked 10 books. I'm really proud of myself. Or maybe the theme was good this week. Let me know what books you liked less or more than you actually did. If you want to leave a video response, feel free. I'd love to see them. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!